Hello, this is the Vikstrand. Today we are going to talk about movie posters in a sense, because you like them, I love them. I saw once in a house somebody had framed this poster simply on their door. And I felt, I've never seen this movie before. I've never heard about this movie before. What an amazing poster. I did a little digging. I figured out that it was You Can't Win Them All with Charles Bronson and Tony Curtis. And I figured, might this be some kind of forgotten, classic from the 70s that, time simply have forgotten? Is this a super action movie ready for the taking? I watched it and I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Let's take a look, shall we? So we have super tough guy Charles Bronson and not so super tough guy Tony Curtis. They are a bunch of soldiers of fortune who, in the Turkish War of Independence or Civil War, depending on your side, I guess, they come from different backgrounds and different sides, and they meet up. They figure that they can make a buck of the war. They're gonna be war profiteers, aka the worst people on the planet. Good luck with that. So they're gonna run guns, and they hook up with the Sultan's army. I think it was the Sultan's army, I'm not entirely sure, I think it was that. So off they go. I mean, the Turkish Civil War was a lot of fun, right? So they crack a lot of jokes and stuff like that. But they find out that the army that they're joining is packing a lot of treasury. They have a lot of money that they've stolen from people, I guess. So they decide to steal all this wealth and escape from it. I mean, in this war, who's gonna notice this one? Let's take all this wealth and escape, and we're gonna be rich. So making an action comedy adventure type of movie within the confine of a war that saw about 40,000 troops killed on both sides and left about 500,000 Armenians and Greeks dead, civilians that is, and led to ethnic cleansing and all that good stuff, might be in bad taste, but I could have taken that. I could have accepted that. I mean, they made Kelly's Heroes the same year with a war that claimed even more casualties than that. But this movie is bad because it has terrible humor, for starters. It has terrible pacing, and the few action sequences that they do have is so terribly directed. I don't think I have ever seen an action movie, periodly, that had this shoddy action sequences. When the few action sequences in this movie that actually happens, I had no idea what was going on. I had absolutely no idea. They were so confusingly shot, they were so confusingly edited. Jesus Christ, this movie is terribly edited. It generally felt like Taken 3 was directed by Stanley Kubrick or something like that. It was fucking awful. It was so ugly. This movie was ugly as hell. One of the ugliest movies I've seen. And it was boring. It was so boring. Nothing happens. The biggest problem, however, the absolute biggest problem, the absolute dumpster fire that did happen, it was this. This movie had no plot. It had virtually no story at all. I felt every minute I saw this one, okay, so now the movie's gonna start. Okay, so now the movie is gonna start. The movie felt like it sort of were beginning all the time, and then, just to cap off the cavalcade of hell, aka this movie, the movie ended. In the most anticlimactic, in the most infuriatingly dull and flat way I have ever seen. This was basically, to make a weird wrestling comparison, this was Hell in a Cell 2019 levels of lunacy ending. It was baffling. I thought, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta absolutely be kidding me. Unfortunately, they did not. This movie has aged terribly. This might have looked okay in the 70s. It may be unfair to compare a movie made in 1970 to today, 2019. But I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm an evil fucker. There are movies made in the 70s that still looks amazing and still holds up. A lot of them actually. But this one feels like such an... It is such amateur class on this one that it can't be saved. Also, you lied to me, movie. You lied to me. Look at this movie poster. You were on that train for 10 minutes, maybe 11 minutes. I'm not entirely sure. Do you know what happened during those 10 to 11 minutes? Was it exciting? Nope, it was not. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened? Do you actually know what happened? Absolutely nothing. Nothing, I say. Nothing! I actually had a debate with myself whether or not I would actually give this movie a 0 rating, but I actually decided to give it the rating of 3. Most of these 3 points are basically given to Charles Bronson and Tony Curtis because, I mean, there's still some star power there. But apart from that, this movie has nothing, absolutely nothing. It's dreadful, it's awful, it's ugly, in very poor taste. It's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's a lot of nothing. It's a bunch of absolute horseshit. I was so angry when I saw this, I decided I'm gonna do a fixing the movie. This movie deserves to be a masterpiece. This poster deserves to be the truth. And we're gonna do that right now. We haven't done this in a while, so it's time to fix the movie for this one. Bloody hell. Well, this is the Vikstrand signing out.